Only 10 left. The hell?
I feel like we should go to 666.
Oh my God, that's 66. That's like another 2 years of podcast. No, 2.5. 2 3/4. 2 1/4.
Sold. Hi, Internet.
Hello.
Oh, hello there, Internet.
We're on.
Yes.
Line.
We're online.
Wow. I can't believe it. Look at us.
I can't believe it's not parquet.
Who would have thought? Look at us.
Shitballs.
Not me.
Oh, sorry for that.
Hey, did you know people are looking at my LinkedIn?
Oh,
People
wow.
have visited my profile. How about that?
Are you going to get a job?
They need to offer me six-figure jobs.
Or maybe it's a soft J.
Six-figure jobs.
Oh, wow.
Did you post it on the Scored?
I'm about to post it on the Scored.
Post this on the
That's
cord.
Discord for those not in the know. For those of you who are like, what's a Scored? It's a Discord. Just I don't want you to feel left
They
out.
now all want you to die.
I just saw what Matthew G posted in the podcast talk of our
Oh, no.
Scored.
Uh-oh.
It's really funny.
Oh. I don't know that I have the score prepared to pull up on here.
Hello, Steve. Welcome.
Hello,
Welcome to our live chat.
Hi, Steve.
We're talking about Liv Tyler
And it's tough to
24/7.
it's tough to LinkedIn stalk because like you have to have premium to actually hide yourself from people who
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have no shame about if I'm going to look somebody up on LinkedIn, I'm going to look them up.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, I did a power move that all the photographers I interviewed, they all looked at my profile.
So you looked at every single one of theirs?
I didn't look at any of theirs.
Oh.
So they know that I didn't even give a shit. I didn't even look.
Nice.
I was just like, hey,
What a
can you
G
take
move.
pictures? Show me some pictures.
I just want your
Less
portfolio.
talking, more pictures.
Yeah.
Show me one of these.
I'm
It's
like-
worth it. It's worth 1,000 of those.
I was like, have you heard of Photoshop? And they were like, yeah, I've heard of Photoshop. And I was like, good, you're hired. And get the fuck out of my office.
Very low qualification.
Well, they had to have a camera as well.
Oh, well, okay. That changes
Actually.
everything.
No, but I mean, I had their resume. Why do I need to go to their fucking LinkedIn? I had their portfolios. Why do I need to go to their fucking LinkedIn?
I don't know.
I didn't.
No.
Okay.
Nobody needs to go to your fucking LinkedIn.
Yeah. And then, like, I sent my boss my recommendations, and then I was like, gone. I'm in Greece. Have a nice life. And
Were you getting fried?
no.
Oh.
And then she died a day later. Which is really
Oh, yeah.
fucked up. But yeah. So then they were like, just go with the one he recommended. So I came back and I was like, hey, yeah, he starts tomorrow. I was like, oh, shit. No, I'm glad you guys liked him. And then they're like, nobody else interviewed him. We just went with what you told us. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's all on me if he sucks. He didn't suck.
That's good.
He's actually been really good. Everyone likes him.
We had a photographer recently, just a freelance photographer, just straight up breach a contract us.
Oh,
It
sweet.
was cool. Yeah.
What, just like stopped working or?
Yeah.
Wow. Go figure.
We had them contracted.
I believe they stopped working.
Yes. Nice. We had them contracted for 3 days, and halfway through the third day, they just
Ghosted you?
stopped showing up. Yeah.
Like, I don't. Did it suck that much? I mean,
It couldn't have. I wasn't there, but
Yeah,
it could
like
not.
how?
It's impossible for it to have.
yeah.
It's just event photography. It's not that hard.
Maybe they just really sucked.
Yeah. I mean, apologies to apologies to professional photographers for me having just said it's not that hard, but for a professional,
Oh, it's all
Like,
right. I put down actors. I said acting's not
it's
that
your-
hard. So, I mean,
it's your job, right?
It's-
What we're asking from you is not that
Yeah.
not
Right.
that difficult for you.
I will reiterate: every job is easy until you have to do it.
Yes.
but I mean, acting
But, yeah.
actors act like acting is very hard, And I'm like, it's not hard compared to literally anything that like involves using your hands or sweating. You know, and I'm not saying acting can involve sweating, but it's not
You're
the
not
norm.
wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, I don't recommend having your boss pass away while you're on vacation.
No.
Or at all. I mean,
Yeah.
we should all be immortal.
Well, and it sucks too because I've had some bosses I absolutely fucking hated, and I would have a drink to them dying, but she was awesome, and I am incredibly bummed that she passed away.
Yeah.
Out of the blue,
sucks.
worked out that morning, had a slight headache, took a nap, and that was it.
Aneurysm?
I
You
never,
don't know.
I never, and I obviously was not going to ask her dad what the deal
Sure.
was. I mean, but he shared that information with me. I was like, well, you know, he said at least it was peaceful. I'm like, at least you can talk like that right now.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that sucked. And now,
bet.
and on top of all my normal responsibilities, it's like, yeah, we're going to need you to do like probably 50 to 60% of what she was doing.
Of course.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the only one who actually knows how to do a lot of that. So
Yeah. You're the only one who can. So
yeah.
congratulations. Those duties are now yours forever.
No.
You say that like you have a choice.
No. That's why I say it like that.
Yeah.
That's my fervent hope is that just no. Actually, I'm doing all of the things that she does really poorly, not intentionally.
Oh, okay.
No, not
I was
intentionally.
going to say weaponized incompetence.
No,
Nailed it.
no. This is not weaponized. This is just straight up incompetence. This is there's no motivation behind it. It's just like no, I just suck at this. Like she was
The
really
workers
good
would
at it.
throw their wooden shoes
Yeah,
called suppose
like-
into the machine.
Yeah, like I'm good at certain things. And the overlap between what she was really good at and what I was really good at was the Venn diagram is very tiny. So yeah, it's been a fun week and a half.
Yeah.
I will say this. If you have the opportunity to go to Greece, take it at some point in your life.
Duly noted.
Did you go to Antikythera? Did you find anything in the water of note?
Did you find any mechanisms?
Yeah. I want to know shit. Tell me the future or just where the moon is.
It's. I was going to say it's just a map,
I know.
or not a map. It's just like a
like
calendar.
I know it's basically like this, but,
Right.
But older.
You can't get messages on your Antikythera mechanism.
Well, that's maybe we don't know. There could be hidden gears and stuff.
There's a. Are you familiar with ClickSpring? There's a channel called ClickSpring, and he's basically hand building an Antikythera mechanism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. It's just
You should look it up.
Is
You'd
that,
love it.
It's
is
weird.
that like the thing in Indiana Jones 5?
Actually, yes. The funny thing is like I've been seeing increased uptick in people talking about that. I mean, it's a thing I've known about. I'm not saying I've known about it for years. I just like it's one of those like rabbit hole like conspiracy theory whatever type things you end up reading about. But yeah, I was wondering why, and like I did watch Dial of Destiny, and I think it was brought up in that. I feel like it was talked about in that movie, and maybe a key plot point. Because I'm thinking like maybe that's why people are doing like what are they talking about?
Yeah.
They do go to Greece.
Okay.
And they do go underwater.
Well,
I did not go underwater while in Greece.
okay.
Why not?
Didn't have the opportunity.
They have those fish that swim up your pee hole.
I was actually I take that back. I did swim in the Mediterranean.
there
Well,
you
good
go.
because
Because we did the boat thing, and I did the diving off the top of the boat, which was a very long dive. But
yeah.
because
Did you go head first or feet first?
Yeah, head first. Oh,
God
God,
damn.
feet first. Don't be a coward. Head first. Jesus. But the thing is, like, it's Santorini is
I don't practice. That.
volcanic. Yes. Well, you don't have a crystal ball either. But
well, actually,
it's
I mean, I
it's a
had-
giant volcano.
yeah.
So that's why everyone's up on the top of the side of a cliff,
Mm-hmm.
because like you get down and the shore is just rock, and then you can see in the water, and it goes out maybe 10 feet until it drops like literally 200 meters.
Oh, that's cool.
So like the bottom is just like years down there. Like So you can dive in, and you could dive like as far as you're going to go, and it's not even going to be even close to hitting anything. So
Gotcha.
it's also a very creepy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing there's like hundreds of meters beneath you of nothing.
Never swum out over a spring, whatever, like that. Like you've never gone swimming like Crystal Springs. It's fucking freaky. Like you're just like, oh, it's like a foot deep. It's like a foot deep. Jesus, I could see the center of the earth.
Yeah,
yeah.
It is really weird.
Even Jenny Springs, the devil's butthole or whatever it is up there. That really deep spring.
I love that. That's probably is the name. Could be. That is in the local vernacular.
Well, wasn't that what they had in Thor 3? Isn't that what they called it? The
devil's butthole.
Yeah, something like that.
I think so.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, but
since we don't use numbers.
But no, the food is awesome. I'll say that. We ate like kings for 2 weeks, and I only gained half a pound because you fucking walk everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, we checked our watches. We had walked something like 75 miles. Yeah.
Like both times I've been on the cruise, I think I've come back like weighing less than when I left because you're just pacing that boat all the fucking time.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you don't know it, but I don't know. I've never been on a cruise ship. I'm just saying, like other ships where you can actually feel the ocean. Again, I know that's not supposed to be a thing on cruise ships, but you don't realize it. But like your legs are like constantly locking and stabilizing, so like you're getting a lot of like standing still workout,
like core exercises.
Yeah. But just the elevation changes, especially in Santorini, is just like Jesus Christ. You look and it's like, oh yeah, there's the place we need to go. It's up there. But yes, if you're given the opportunity to go to Greece, I suggest you take it because Greece was awesome.
Yeah, I realize
the people there are awesome.
I've never been on a boat with like more than like 10, 12 people, and I kind of aim to keep it that way, like boat, not ship.
It's a good amount.
I mean, I'm good with boat, not ship.
Boat, yeah. I was gonna say, like, I highly recommend cruises, but
I'm good.
I like them because it's like the cheapest option for getting that experience. You know?
Yeah.
COVID?
Now, yes.
Right now.
Or whatever new disease we get.
Last one I was on.
N5.
Yeah, it's 2019 was the last one I was on. It's like, I haven't done it since. My parents were like, hey, we've never had COVID. And then went on a cruise. Hey, we got COVID.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Was it complimentary?
Yes.
With the cruise experience, yes. That's what happens now.
When did I go? 22? Was it 22?
Oh, man.
Or last year?
Yeah, man, the danger zone. You're in the that would be 22, yeah. You're in the danger zone.
Or this year. Maybe it was this year. God, the time has flown so far. So fast. I think it was this year.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. All I know is, like, we've talked about it, but, like, our sense of time is so warped.
I know.
At this point. Like, it's so fucking, like, 2013 was 10 years ago, and it's like, nah. That wasn't 10 years ago. And it's like, yeah, it was.
Oh, it must have
been. It's just the past 4 have all melded into one mega year.
Yeah. I'd go further than that. I feel like the last, like, since 2016. I feel like since, like, the end of 2016, nothing
16 kind of was the tipping point for, like...
Well, like, really all of 2016 was just, like, constant sorrow of, like, everyone dying, and then the year was like, hey, here's a turd on top of that.
Right.
Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, Greece, they just don't give a shit about any of that. The one guy's like, we were from Florida. He's like, oh, you got that DeSantis guy, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I think he sucks. He's like, all right, cool. And like, that was the extent of our conversation about DeSantis in Florida. I have no idea if he was like, yeah, he's my guy or what. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, why would you even know who Ron DeSantis is?
If you're some random man in Greece, yeah.
Like a Greek man. Like everyone speaks English, but he was legit a Greek.
Look, man, you have the opportunity to not know who Ron DeSantis is.
Yeah, for real.
Don't.
Yeah.
I would be like, the guy that wears the boot lift things? Yeah, that guy.
Frankenstein?
Yes.
I mean, Frankenstein's monster. I don't know if Victor Frankenstein wore shoeless.
No, Dr. Frankenstein did.
But did you like Indiana Jones 5?
It was better than 4.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's fine. I mean, it was. I mean, by comparison, it was fine. Like, I mean, I was like,
I feel like I liked it, and I especially like where the finale goes. Like, I thought I absolutely fucking loved it, and I know a lot of people hate it, but every action scene felt like it was like twice as long as it needed to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the reason the fast movies work for me is because they have like climaxes and big moments in the action scene. Whereas indie, it's like the action scene hits a level and then just stays there throughout until it ends. Like it never has any peaks and valleys.
Yes.
Was how it felt to me.
And I feel like that's a lot of Hollywood movies now.
Yeah.
Just
keep
keep things moving.
But yeah, I guess just with Mangold doing it, I was expecting a little more.
I literally didn't know it wasn't Spielberg until the end credits.
Really?
Like I didn't read anything about it. I mean, my whole thing was like, oh, it's available. I guess I'll watch it now, kind of thing. It was. I had literally next to no interest after Crystal Skull. Like I was like, it'll exist.
I don't blame you.
It won't hurt that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Is it Bridge or Bridge? It's just
Bridgers.
I think it's just Bridge.
One is
right?
the music person. And the other
it's confusing.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's the Fleabag chick.
Right.
And one's the singer.
I'm saying I've liked her in things I've seen her in, and I was like, I'm willing to watch it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, that's the kind of thing is like a lot of these continuation things. I mean, even Afterlife. I thought Afterlife was fine. Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, but if it didn't exist, that would also be okay. I mean, it does not feel necessary. It's just fine.
Yeah. I saw John Wick 4.
Yeah.
On the
I still haven't seen that.
It's a lot of movie, isn't it?
That's a lot of movie.
It's too much movie.
And like, I think the encapsulation of all of it is when he gets kicked down the stairs and he falls down the stairs for like literally 60 seconds straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just him bouncing down this set of stairs. And then like, it's almost like an SNL skit because he goes down this one part, hits like the little plateau, and then almost turns and falls down the rest of the stairs.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that scene in Hot Rod where it's just
exactly
falling down the mountain.
Where it's like, we get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
that and
they're
Fast 10. I mean, it's just like there's like so much happening. It's like and it's just like you don't have to put all your ideas in one movie. Like we're not. I mean, again, maybe we're chasing that China thing of like Chinese dollars of like put it all in one movie. It's the thing there. That's I mean, I really don't think that's a thing anymore. Of like the 1 or 2 movies a year. I think most people can afford movies.
Well, and my understanding is they took 4 and 5. It was originally going to be 2 movies, and they're just like fuck it and smashed them back together as one. But yeah, it's just I hate feeling like it's just John Wick is like just a technical exercise now, where they're like, all right, how can we do this? And so they do the top down scene, the Hotline Miami scene, basically. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, how long can we let this take go?
Yeah, I just felt like just 4, if it had been like 20, 30 minutes shorter, just like a little bit shorter, it would have just been tighter and more enjoyable. It's just it just went on that like little bit too long.
Yeah.
Where it's like 3 was like when you got to the finale of 3, it was like clearly this feels like the finale, and I if I wasn't looking at the runtime, I would feel that the movie is ending now because we've gotten into the glass room and it's like he's gonna fight Iron Chef.
Yeah, and 4 like you're kind of like, oh, I guess we're at the end. I don't know. There's
is it the end? They said that. I feel like they've said that after the fact. Like
I don't know. I know they got that spin-off show on Peacock and other things, but I don't know.
Yeah. A show that would have been a lot better if they decided to do it when Lance Reddick was alive. I mean, I'm just saying, like a lot more interest on that show if like you'd had at least a cool core character like that.
But isn't it set like 50 years?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Something
I'm just
like
saying, like if just you got to have like I would have watched the show if it was like a Deadwood guy. God, I just lost his name.
Oh,
yeah,
Ian McShane.
Yeah, Ian McShane and Lance Reddick.
Yeah,
I
think all of us would have.
Yeah, and even if they weren't there all the time, if they were just like the guy that kind of steers the ship or whatever while new adventures come in, that'd been fun.
Yeah. Yep. And then Spider-Verse 2. That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
It is a really good movie.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of is like, we're not going to resolve anything. Come back in 3 years. Bye.
Yeah, I think you missed. I talked about watching Expendables and how it has that Escape from L.A. and Die Another Day thing going on in fucking 2023, where it's like, where the living fuck are you? like, what kind of little tiny soundstage are you on while all of this other stuff is happening in reality? Yeah, it's unbelievable that there's a movie that looks like that at this day and age.
That bad?
Yeah, I was just like, there's the first time it happens, I want to say it was like there's a Dolph Lundgren as being a sniper thing, and it's just like, it's just almost comical. I mean, again, like the thing inadvertently feeling like an SNL sketch, just like cutting away to here's Dolph with the weather.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in Indy 5 that are just like, you shot this in the volume, huh?
That's the thing is, this doesn't even feel like this. This feels like the old like rear projection bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it.
I'd almost rather that.
Yeah,
I'm fucking sick of the volume, man. I'm
okay
fucking
with it.
sick of
They
it.
have not. As long as people do it right, I'm not tired of it. It's fine. When I found out the Batman was shot in the volume, I'm like, okay, so you can make a thing that feels realistic and not know that it's in there. In the end, there's only like one set. I think it's like, yes, clearly that's volume work, but otherwise it's like it feels like a living thing.
Yeah, the scene where he's fixing the tuk-tuk is just like, wow. Like you didn't even try to do the background right for this.
The other thing I watched, like, just when we're talking other...
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Huh? I'll just get comfy.
We're not spoiling things, at least.
Yeah.
But we just got to get them out.
Yeah, I watched the Exorcist 4, or as I titled it, Exorcist Imagine Demons. It's called Exorcist Believer, which is one of Imagine Dragons' biggest songs.
Oh.
So.
Imagine
anyway,
that.
It's
How is it?
It exists.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a glowing recommendation.
Well, I probably feel like I have literally zero vested interest in the Halloween franchise, but like all the people are like, God, this latest Halloween thing sucks so much. It's the same. It's all the same people, same director, and Danny McBride writing and stuff. So
really,
I just feel like it's that same kind of like it's semi-competent, but also just something feels off and wrong about it. Yeah.
Hey, it looks like Screen Actors Guild reached a tentative agreement.
I thought they already had. So they had a
Writers Guild.
Writers Guild did.
Oh.
Screen Actors are now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Anyway, should we do a podcast?
Why not?
Sorry, Boston. We've been...
Give them a clap and all that. All right, let's do this.
Are you ready, BJ?
Yes.
You've been ready, haven't
I've been ready for,
We only talked for like 20 minutes. It's not...
It's only like 25. It's fine.
But who's counting?
Sorry, we weren't coming up with an intro in that amount of time.
Yeah, the intro was done. Intro done, been done.
Well, that was not a very good clap.
Yeah,
Let's
it was
get to the
not.
third.
I was about to...
Well,
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like...
I realized it after the fact, but I didn't hear it that great, except for out of headphones. God damn. That's still shitty. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 590. Or
Wow.
590.
Woohoo.
Woo. So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. And then eventually they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Yes.
Hell yes.
We like robot jocks, if you couldn't tell.
See, but however, there are truly bad movies. Nothing redeemable. They get 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash in which they belong.
Gross.
Ooh.
Get them out. Toss them in the bin. Don't look back.
Well, speaking of the bin, we are still clearing ours out. I don't know if it's a good bin or, I mean, not necessarily a bin like in the trash sense, but more of a place that we keep our DVDs, Blu-rays, and VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
We are watching 1984's The Dungeonmaster, or also AKA
Rage War.
Yeah.
Because
Rage War is a terrible name.
Yeah, it is. Because Richard Mall passed away. And we wanted to honor him in the only way we know possible.
Is to watch a bad
By
movie.
watching a Charles Band 73-minute movie called The Dungeonmaster.
Fair enough.
Bader. Ha! Got him.
Yeah, so, man, where to even start? This is a... Would we say, like, we jokingly call things like things are a Spike Lee joint. We will jokingly say like this is a Charles Band joint, but in this case, it really is because it's a total joint venture. I believe it's like 8 directors. Like
yeah,
8
I
other
think there are
directors.
7 segments. I actually kept track of them in my notes because I was like, oh, we're gonna forget. Like one of these, we're just not gonna remember, and then somebody's gonna write in and be like, "Why did you talk about that part? It's my favorite."
All I know is one guy's name is Blucher or something like that. It's David Blucher. It's not that. It's just every time his name came up, I neighed.
But it's basically his
or whinnied.
His house group in 1984. Like whoever was working on a movie for him at the time got a segment in this movie. Yeah. So it kind of, but the thing is also like it's kind of an anthology, but they all kind of don't feel distinct from each other. They just feel like different settings.
Yeah, it's a series of vignettes, theoretically directed by somebody else, but there's no way you could tell.
Yeah.
If you did not have that
knowledge,
that credit in the beginning of the movie, you
and the extended one in the outro,
and all 700 minutes of credits afterwards.
Yeah,
because this movie is
it's probably really only about 64 minutes. Yeah,
64 minutes. Yeah. And then long slow credits.
Yeah. So think about this before we get into all of it. Framing device in the beginning. Get your characters, establish them, all that. Maybe 45 seconds at the end when they get back.
Your basic setting is
and 7 segments in between that. So you basically got 8 segments of movie in 73 minutes.
Right. Yeah, and our main character is Paul.
It's probably 8 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
Paul is a
Paul is plosive.
Yeah. Paul's a computer engineer, I guess.
He's his job is
tech support,
bullshit printer repairman.
That was high end in the time this.
Oh, bullshit printer repairman.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, like,
there was classes with him.
There was like 4 people that could do that in 1984. I mean,
all you had to do to repair printers in 1984 was like change the ribbon or get the tracks back on.
Mm-hmm. But he also is a amateur inventor because he's invented Google Glass. Basically, he has augmented reality glasses. Which is
with an AI companion sort of thing.
Yeah, it has like the mainframe is back at home and it's named Cal. I mean, it has a longer name, which we'll get to. But it's that's where the brains are. But he can just wear these horn rim glasses wherever and get AR stuff.
Giant glasses.
Yeah,
they're
huge glasses. Who's the actor that played him? Plays Paul. Do you have that shit pulled up? I thought you had all the info.
I
was turning.
I do have all the information, but Paul was played by Jeffrey Byron.
Yeah, I only bring it up because, especially in the beginning, before he gets sort of future medievaled up for the dungeon mastering, he has a very strong vibe of what would happen if you took Dirk Benedict and Dwight Schultz and merged them into one person.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's like he's
Dwight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, Face and Howling Mad Murdoch from A-Team, put them together into one person. Mm-hmm. It's kind of because he's kind of handsome like Dirk Benedict, but also kind of goofy looking like Dwight Schultz.
Yeah.
No offense. He
also has this sort of vaguely cocky sense about him,
right?
Mm-hmm. Because he's a runner, and every people who run,
especially those that run for office,
right? But he tells his coworker, I don't need a ride home from work. I run home from work. You know that every day. But then
I don't even own a TV.
Right.
I'm also vegan.
Right.
I have a gluten allergy.
But he's also just sort of generally cocky in all the rest of the situations he's in. He's like, don't worry, I've got me on my side and also Cal. It'll be fine. It's kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But he is dating, besides his computer, he's dating Gwen, who I think in reality, I don't know if she's actually an actress, or we were introduced to her in a dance studio, kind of doing aerobics, but it's clearly a dance routine. Mm-hmm. Because they're all synchronized stuff, and it's just another way to pad some time and ladies in spandex, I guess. But she comes home, and it's kind of just like, all right, we're back together, and then it's like the movie kind of becomes deeper than it is, but without any actual writing to back it up. I mean, if you have art that's empty enough, you tend to infer your own meaning into it.
Yeah, you fill in the blanks yourself.
And I'm saying that, like, the way the movie is presented is, like, it could be an argument is that this is all a manifestation of, like, their issues with commitment, because he's basically like, we should get married, and she's like, you love your machine and your career more than me, and I don't want to just be a wife. And he's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
and
what's so bad about that?
Anyway, let's go
Wrong
to the bedroom where
question.
let's go to the bedroom where I can keep all your attention, and then we're sleeping, and thus the dream sequence and the actual plot of the movie begins.
I will say, there's a dream sequence in the beginning that is completely unrelated to anything else, with a different chick that is not Gwen.
Correct.
I thought that was Gwen.
No, it's a different actress. She's in Vicious Lips later on, but
okay.
Yeah, but no, that
someone
woman,
with a full nudity clause who I don't think Gwen had.
Yeah, full frontal, all that.
Yeah.
Charles Band's like, here's what you want. First 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you're not getting it anywhere else in the movie. Ha!
Nah. Ha! Gotcha. Yeah, but it is all slow motion, and that was when we kind of knew what we were in for, because we're like, this has been going on for like 5 minutes with no dialogue, all slow motion,
he chases
and
her
none
through
of it makes sense.
He chases her through a water treatment plant first, that then they go underground and it morphs into a prison. Because there's clearly bars and cells on the door, and but then she just disappears through a crack in the wall, and then she's suddenly in like a fantasy bed with 80s music videos, smoke everywhere, and naked, and there's your nudity quotient, and then goblins come out of the wall and take her away,
knock him out, take her away, and then he wakes up,
right? Or
then it goes to credits,
right?
And then suddenly they're just like, hey, he's at work. So we've already had one dream sequence that makes no sense.
Nope. But there it is.
Cue the rest of the movie.
Yeah. So now he awakes basically in the underworld. Well, I think maybe he has to like go through a trial to even get to like Richard Mall's what's his name? Maltesa? What's his name? I don't know.
Mephistopheles. Mestizo. No.
He's Mistema.
Mistema.
Okay. Yeah.
Mistema.
So Miasma is like, you got to do a trial, and also I got your lady, and if you don't do it, you're both dead, and you don't have a choice.
Yeah, and his rationale for pulling Paul into this is because he is like the Lord of Magic, and Paul
he's
is
the devil.
Yeah. Paul's little wrist thing, which is his version of Cal that's in the dream.
Which is weird because the devil guy gives him this enhanced go anywhere version of it.
Yeah,
he says
it's on like a wrist gauntlet.
Yeah. He says, "I've brought you here. You have this sort of magic that I find that I haven't fought before. So here you go." And he waves his hand, and suddenly Cal has the wristband thing. He's like, "All right. You may use your magic to try to defeat me. You will not be able to, but you may try. I find this interesting. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fight me."
And I'll say this, Richard Mall seems to be having a hell of a lot of fun doing this.
He does wherever he goes. I mean, I also, unrelated to his passing, just recently watched House for the first time, and I mean, even there, it's just, you want me to go for it? Fine.
Yeah.
He's not ashamed. We appreciate that about him.
I appreciate all committed actors.
Yeah. I also, someone who has spent more of their life working in around technology and IT and stuff than not. I refuse to believe that the devil is not aware of technology and the inherent evil therein.
Right. The devil invented printers, and we know that.
I don't think it took
till
1984 before he was like, "What is this computer?" Like,
maybe that's why he knew, like, because Paul was the printer fixer. He was like, "Oh, haha, he can fix even the things that I create."
That son of a bitch, Paul.
Yeah, he's my nemesis now. I'm bringing him to my world.
Yeah, we also forgot to mention another nonsensical dream sequence. Because the first time he falls asleep with Gwen, he sees her swimming in a pool and tries to get to her.
Right.
And there's an invisible barrier, and somehow he gets like burnt to death.
Yeah, he's melting. Like the inside of wherever he is really hot, so it's like a slow peel. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it just every time they cut away, he's got more skin bubbling.
Yeah,
up.
they do some pretty good. I just enjoy the makeup work on it,
Sure.
so I wanted to mention it. But yeah, and then he wakes up and he's in his apartment, and then he goes out to the middle of the room, and then gets zapped into.
Right.
The dream, and then is presented with, okay, here's your gauntlet. You have to take me on and win these challenges to escape.
I can only assume a fair amount of marijuana was generally involved in most Charles Band joints. I don't know. I don't want to just.
I mean, if they were Charles Band joints.
Yeah, I can just see the pitch idea of this just being a room full of beanbags and people stoned off their ass, and it's like, we kind of like want to make the Twilight Zone movie, but like Mad Max, and also D&D is really hot right now, right? And also a little Tron, maybe. Can we do all that together?
To me, it feels like this was made during a 48-hour film festival, and each person got their segment, and they got one pass at it, and they're like, we got 48 hours. We got to make this thing. And they made their thing, and then didn't go back and be like, you know what, we could probably fix it with this. You know, they like script, filming, everything had to be like 48 hours. You're fucking cut off.
It could
because that's how every one of these feels. It feels like those unfinished 48-hour films where it's like, I kind of see what you were going for, but it just didn't work.
Everybody got a day of shooting with Jeff Byron and Leslie Wing.
Yeah, because
they might have found the props and stuff first and built the script around it. That's almost what it feels like.
Could be.
Because the common thread through all of them is the conflict is resolved in like 3 seconds. Every single one of them, it's like, what's happening? What are we doing? Oh, okay, fixed.
Well, that's what happens when you have like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but they all kind of follow that same thing where it's just like, you literally wrote this as you were filming it. Like you were literally saying lines off camera to the guy to say, like, because you hadn't written them yet.
Yeah, almost every vignette solution is basically the Shadow of Colossus rules. Like, I'm just saying, like,
it's tappy tap into the thing,
usually
and then
there's
it does
something
a thing.
glowing somewhere. Like it's either a crystal that he will shoot, and that will make him zap, or sometimes it's a giant colossus with a actual red jewel in the center of its head because they do like a Harryhausen sort of stop motion matte painting thing. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm jumping around, but it's just like almost all of them are like shoot the glowy bit and you'll move on to the next stage.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't even really necessarily know or care to say them in whatever order they happen in because it's not. It's not really okay. Fine. It's sort of inconsequential as to when they happen.
Yeah, they really, you could put them in all sorts of order and it really wouldn't matter except maybe the last one, but even then that one doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, because it also feels like the Star Wars sequel trilogy where it's like everyone who made them just didn't talk to anybody who made the other ones. They're just like, all right. But like,
I didn't even watch it. I just figured I'd make up my own shit as I went along.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they all feel as well. They're like, yeah, what's the characters' names again? All right, yeah, they're
Paul and Gwen, cool. And then there's Mahatma over there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because so they agree to the whole thing. Richard Mall does this knighting thing where he like, and also he's transported Paul into what looks like felt mail armor.
Yeah, it's
not even armor.
It's just cloth, like quilted cloth armor. It's
not even quilted. It looks like felt.
It is future gray, but it's got like stitching lines through it to give it a sense of like
and he's
paddedness.
But he's got like a black body leotard underneath.
Yeah,
I am future gray, by the way. I've
come present gray. Well,
that's what I mean. I've come from now. I'm going back to the past in a minute to tell other people like, chill out, watch your stress levels.
Yeah, but so they're like, all right, fine, I'll do it because I'm Paul.
Yeah, because he's like,
and I kind of don't have a choice anyway. Like, what am I supposed to do?
You know, I run 7 miles a day, right?
This is the most Tron thing about it, besides the fact that he's more or less sucked into a computer program to begin with. I mean, this outfit is very
it's kind of
Tron-like.
Yeah, it's Tron without like the headache-inducing
glowy bits. Yeah.
glowy bits.
Okay, more Tron Legacy then.
No, Tron Legacy, good.
Well, that's right.
Original Tron sucks. All right, here you go, everybody. Original Tron. I know you love it. It fucking sucks, and it gives me a headache to watch. Sorry. Anyway, I'd almost rather watch this. More things happen in this.
Well, sure.
Tron. Jesus
I just
Christ.
say whether or not you
Tron
like it. In 1981,
sucks.
Tron was a big, or 82 was a big fucking deal. When it
I
came
know.
out.
It was like I respect how it was made, all that.
Sure.
There's a reason nobody's made a movie that looks like that again. Because Tron fucking sucks.
Because we have better computers now.
Yeah, we do. But anyway, they get Troned out to. It's a room where there's all these frozen killers, basically.
Oh yeah, the frozen killers,
all the killers, and
Albert Einstein. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
encouraged the creation.
I was
going to
say if he hadn't helped make in the Manhattan Project somewhat, then
yeah.
But I wouldn't directly call him a killer.
No. But yeah, it's like Jack the Ripper and a guy who's supposed to be like, I'm assuming, Genghis Khan and
Zulu warrior.
Several racist caricatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's also like a Wolfman and a mummy, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
The famous Wolfmans of London.
Like you said, they had a bunch of props, they had a bunch of costumes, and they're like, what can we do with this?
Is it Wolfman?
We have 48 hours.
Is it Wolfman or Wolfmans? I'm not sure if it...
Wolfmen.
Do they inherit the plural of men as well, I suppose?
Wolfsmen.
Yeah. I have to check my...
It's Wolfman, and Wolfman, attorneys at law.
Yeah. Harvey Wolfman.
Mm-hmm. Attorneys by night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so it's a cold room. They're all frozen, and Gwen is there, and she's like, hey, it's really cold, Paul. Come help me. And he takes so long to get to the other room that she has frozen over by the time he gets close.
Well,
and meanwhile, the devil, Richard Mall, goes, how about if I turn up the heat? And so then everyone starts thawing out and attacking them.
Except Einstein. He was way too cool.
Yeah.
He didn't thaw in time.
He was also holding the cold crystal.
Oh, that's true.
That's very important.
Yeah. But this is also like any action in these is very much stage play action.
Oh, yeah, where you're like, they're 3 feet away and they have to move like half a step towards you and go, ah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like, I'm making a threatening motion towards you and I'm just kind of swaying back and forth. And yeah. So she gets threatening motions and people sway back and forth at her. And then Paul comes in and they pushes the monsters away, sees that Albert Einstein has a crystal, chucks it on the ground. It like shoots lasers out of itself and zaps them out of the room.
Yeah.
And then they get transported out of the room back to Richard Mall.
Yeah, if there's a common set location, it's this hell tribunal, wherever they are.
Yeah.
There's cliffs. There's some chains to chain up Gwen.
Yep.
Richard Mall stands on the top of the cliffs.
Yeah, sometimes he has a throne, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he can conjure a throne. He's the fucking devil.
He is the
and
devil,
stuff,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I couldn't conjure a throne and I was the devil.
And they just keep having brief conversations that kind of don't make any sense either.
This is when they... is this when they have the music battle or no? Because, I mean, I know eventually...
They do in a little bit, yeah.
Oh.
But
Another one first? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, from here they go to the realm of the dead.
Oh.
Where Paul gets zapped there. Gwen is not there at all. But he gets zapped there, and some zombies come up and start trying to attack. Good zombie makeup.
Yeah.
Props to them. Good,
props to the props.
Yeah, props to the makeup costuming department. Like, good-ass zombies. And he basically just chops a head off here, chops an arm off there.
It's not very climactic.
No. He just sees them crawling up to him and goes, oh, and then kicks one over, grabs its sword, and then chops its head off.
Yeah, he does a little deedly-deet on his arm computer, and it tells him ostensibly what to do. He just kicks the one.
Yeah.
And it drops its sword.
But they start to wake up, and then he's like, crap. So then he runs around a corner, and that's when he meets a little goblin guy sitting on a throne.
Yeah.
If you're watching their live stream, is taking the place of the artist formerly known as Chuck.
Yeah. What's his name? Is it Rat Skin?
Rat Spit.
Rat Spit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spit Rat.
He calls him Spit Rat.
Raw Rat Spit.
Yeah. But this is a little puppet on a throne with a little crystal on a staff, and he's just like, this is the realm of the dead, and deal with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
He's like, are you going to be able to solve my whatever? And Paul just once again goes dee on his wrist computer and just fires a little laser at Rat
the
crystal.
Yeah.
And it's done. And Rat Spit's
first he
shit.
has to face himself. He
Yeah,
has to
it
face
zaps the zombies
Yeah.
that are in the room. They get troned out again, and then he's like, "Well, how about your future self?" And it's Paul in his felt outfit, shambling towards himself, and then Paul's just like, "Huh, okay," and then just kind of crosses his arms and stares at it, and apparently that's what defeats it.
Well, he's like, this is your future, and this is, I believe is this where we get the line, or
Yes, this is where we get the line.
Yeah,
the famous Mythbusters line.
the now famous Mythbusters line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I mean, we should probably reiterate it's our intro thing, but yeah, this is where he's basically he does the whole he explains the multiverse to Satan. Basically, he's just like, that's a possible outcome of my reality. It's not what's happening to me. He basically just uses the power of positive thinking. Is like, if I believe, like Bill and Ted style, that that's not how I'm going to end up, I'm not going to.
He just blatantly rejects destiny, which
Yeah.
we all know is true and real.
yeah.
But this is when he does the I reject your reality and substitute my own, but much more I'm acting style.
Yep. And then he gets zapped back to our framing area, or staging area, I should say.
It really feels like this segment lasts like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think the one before felt like it lasted 4 minutes. These first few feel real short.
Yeah, but that's when they get into. Is this where they do the dragon fight?
I think so. I think he comes back and Satan
I
is
thought
like,
that was later, but
he's like, do you like Imagine Dragons? And he's like, would you like to imagine dragons coming out of our respective magical devices? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
would you like to literally imagine dragons with me?
So yeah, they have some Don Bluth dragons. Well, I mean Don Shitty Bluth, like Don, if he was a part of the Bluth family from Arrested Development.
Was Evil Tunes a Charles Band thing, or was that
probably?
Or is that?
Yeah,
I think it's a Jim Wynorski thing.
Maybe.
But either way, it's like they put these dragons in the sky, but I swear they did like literally 4 frames of animation on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an orange dragon and a purple dragon. They sort of menace each other, and then they're like, well, I guess we have a dragon impasse. We'll go back to our techno devices, and that's when he's like, do you like Imagine Dragon? I mean, do you like music? And would you like to hear this hellish cacophony I have? And it's just, dissonant violins.
Just noise.
Yeah. It's just, your standard horror music.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sort of
Danny
sync
Elfman
up
score.
with the Devil Went Down to Georgia, what he was playing,
Right.
and the Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Right. If you put that record on at the beginning of this movie, right when the...
Yeah, by the time it's over, this
well, there
film
is no
will be
lion's
over.
roar because this movie just fucking starts, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. But Paul's like, oh yeah, well I got this, and he plays some like generic early '80s rock tune, and he's like, fine, you're doing this, and then just like there's a lot of just Richard Ball just going, and then just waving at the camera, and beams come out of his hand.
This is Richard Mall presses play on your Spotify recommendation playlist.
Yeah. And this is when the worst thing that could possibly happens is he's sent to the suburbs because he's surrounded by Wasp.
Yes.
The band.
The band Wasp. He is at a Wasp concert.
Yeah. I can't dispute that. I didn't see any people of color in this audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So think about your generic early '80s metal show.
It's got everything.
And this is it. There's the dudes on the stage playing the song Tormentor.
Tormentor's honestly not the worst song. Like,
no,
okay,
it ain't bad.
The content of Tormentor is bad because there are mentions of things that we don't want to happen to people, but
It plays out sort of like it's sort of like an Alice Cooper style. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's very like versical, like like I'm gonna do this and I may do that, and it's just
and
like
then torment.
And they open these
That's
two
the
doors
Gigantor
that have
theme.
tormentor written on them, and it's Gwen, and she's tied up, and she's in like a heavy metal chick outfit,
Right.
and
Classic heavy metal.
Yeah, I will say the lead singer has arm like a jacket that has half of a circular saw blade, like at various intervals along there, and I'm like, that's a cool jacket.
It's good look.
Well, one arm's
I would
that, and the
want
other
that.
arm's like just broken off bolts, isn't it? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I think the other side is like all like industrial bolts sticking out.
Yeah, but all this sequence involves is Paul pushing his way through the crowd to get up to the stage, to have the lead singer promptly bop him in the forehead with his guitar, and zap him, knock him out, and then start threatening his girlfriend, who the lead singer does turn into Richard Mall at one point, while he's got a machete pushed against her neck.
While she's in an Iron Maiden, sort of. I mean, it's
it is kind of there's the spikes on the side there, and then Paul finally wakes up long enough to zap him with his laser from his gauntlet
For like the fourth time.
once again. Like the laser on the gauntlet solves all his problems.
Yeah, he probably should have just written a program as like 10 print laser, 20 go to 10.
And again, this is where like
It's basic.
none of them talk to each other because they all are like, how's Paul going to solve this? Well, I guess I'll just have him use the arm laser.
Right.
So like literally that becomes the solution for every sequence that
and then
happens.
when they all
It's like,
got back together after they had all gone and written their separate parts, they're like, okay,
Fuck, you did the arm laser, too.
Everybody did the arm laser? Jesus Christ.
we only had 48 hours. We don't have time to reshoot any of this. Everyone has to use the arm laser now. So, but yes, he zaps Richard Mall or the lead singer with the arm laser, and he wins. And back to the framing device, which I don't even remember what it is this time. There's
what they talk about.
Yeah,
in
what they
between?
talk about. Yeah,
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. He comes back. They're like, "Hey, you suck, Richard Mall," and he's like, "Guess what, Paul? You suck. Now do a thing."
The first couple are just very antagonistic. He's just basically like, "You suck. Give me my lady. You're evil." And then he starts kind of rationalizing it with them, sort of. I mean, again, maybe in a better written movie, this would be more interesting. But he's just basically like, Why exactly are you torturing us? Oh, you're immortal and you have no soul. You're bored. Like you don't, nothing excites you clearly. So what do you have better to do? It's like maybe you should just use your fucking magic and make something exciting and not torture people, like dick.
Yeah.
But
This is all I know. I had a broken childhood.
He's like,
God threw me out of heaven.
Oh yeah, I forgot his wonderful cat story he tells. Which
he tells a story about torturing a cat, but it's just a bunch of
hooey.
Yeah,
like it.
It's scene chewing.
It could be something that would work about the nature of good versus evil and all that if it was written in more than 48 hours.
Yes.
But anyway, it's not, and so he gets zapped into just a peaceful forest type thing. Paul's just on the ground snoozing.
Oh yeah,
and two little people in like furs come up, and
I like their outfits. I think their hats
they
are
are
cute.
pretty good, even though it looks like they're just wearing diapers.
A little bit, but like the hats, there's something about the hats.
Yeah, look at all your different colored hats.
Yeah, but they steal the gauntlet and run away, and then Paul, because Paul's bad at this, it takes him a while to go, oh shit, they stole my gauntlet, the one thing that I use to solve all my problems. Right. And then he follows them around until they get to a giant statue
where they leave the gauntlet.
Well, it looked like an offering plate.
Yeah,
they
were
had
offering
various
the
other
gauntlet
things there. Yeah,
to their giant monkey statue thing. So of course Paul goes, well, that's fucked up, and then goes, well, I guess I got my gauntlet back. Takes it back and tries to tap into it, and it says something like arcane energy detected, and that's when you get your stop motion.
Could you try again?
Whoa!
Hey, what?
Hey, what the hell?
Also, by the way, since we're paused anyway, there's a new photo.
Oh, there's a new photo.
Well, I wasn't going to interrupt the podcast, but
That's the new photo.
Sorry,
Look
Boston. What is that?
at that
Is
cat.
It's a
That
Spider-Man.
is a cat and a Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
A man of spiders and a cat. I love it. Thank you.
All right, so you're in theater mode, you son of a bitch.
That was probably Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Sorry, Boston. Coming back. So cue the stop motion giant monkey thing coming to life because he has taken the gauntlet back.
Yeah. I mean, the Harryhausen stuff, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, when it cuts away to him, but the reaction is basically just this thing has come up off its throne, is walking towards him, occasionally shooting beams out of its, ruby in the center of its head, which is clearly its weak point, but also just hucking rocks at him too. Or
the little people are on the top of the rocks.
Well, he's kind of like, the big thing's like knocking some stuff around. So it's basically just Paul like hiding sort of in a ravine while, styrofoam rocks fall all around him.
Yep. And eventually he shoots the laser, he shoots the ear off, and then gets better aim the next time. Shoots it in the eye laser. Mm-hmm. And that solves all Paul's problems once again. Because he wins.
Shoot it in the jewel and it'll save your soul.
Laser.
Yep. And he gets zapped back out. Hoorah.
Who could have predicted?
Yep. And this leads to the next one. They do some talking. Is this where he gets tempted by the devil? Because the devil's like, well, this can all go away if you just give her to me. And he's like, no, that's not happening.
First time he's just like, I'll let you go free. And he's like, no, thanks.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of want my girlfriend.
And he's like, big pile of gold, start your own empire. And he picks up the gold and it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, best offer. 3 for 1. And then he just conjures 3 lovely vixen ladies to show up and dance around him.
Who start rubbing him up. Yeah. And he's like, all the ecstasy you can handle until you can't handle it anymore. Yeah.
See, I think
and it is funny because Paul's like, and Gwen's like, Paul! He's like, yeah. That's a bad idea.
You'd think the devil would be a better advocate because he'd probably be like, all right, gold and the ladies done. I mean, because I'm just saying, he had him. He was on the ropes. Like, if you were a used car dealer, you would have seen he was about to buy.
Right. But also, like, you can't offer him that deal in front of his girlfriend. If you want him to take it, you lock her away somewhere. Put her in an abyss, perhaps.
Yes.
And then, if you can't see his girlfriend going, no, please don't, you got him. You got him. Listen to us for more devilry details and tips.
Yeah. Come on, the devil is in the details.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the details are for the devil. Something.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Oh, man. So, they that doesn't work. So he's like, fine, I am going to send you to... the next one is shitty New York.
Classic shitty New York.
Yeah, classic shitty New York.
He's laying in an alley.
And there's blood.
Oh, no.
And a woman's been killed.
Oh, no.
Well, first he finds a headline that Gwen is the latest 12th victim of the New York slasher or whatever.
Yep.
Then sees the blood, lifts up some cardboard.
It's not her.
Yeah, I think the idea is it's a red herring, a red blood herring.
Yep.
A red-headed herring.
Yep. And then Richard Mall says, "You're reading tomorrow's paper. You have 1 hour to stop her murder." And, of course, cops pull up and immediately...
Hey, what have we got going on here?
Nice outfit.
What's going on here, Buck Rogers?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't act like that at all.
No,
but they should.
They kind of do.
I mean, a little bit.
But, yeah, and then one guy lifts up the cardboard, sees the dead body, and is like, oh!
Yeah.
We're arresting you. And so they arrest him.
And leave the body behind.
Don't
call for backup. They just leisurely take him away.
Yeah, and they happen to drive by Gwen while he's in the back of the police car. He's like, Gwen! But he's chained up in a police car. And so this might be the longest segment, but it's really the one that might have the least things happening.
Oh, it's the cheapest to film. It's all present day. No, I mean, the only thing he's wearing is his Feltron outfit.
Yeah.
Feltron.
And we see a little bit of the serial killer's basement where he's got the clippings from all the newspapers. About
we kind of they. It's so weird. They keep showing the serial killer's apartment and then like doing everything but show his face, like it's going to be some sort of reveal, like
it's a cameo.
Yeah, like oh my god, we got Paul. I mean, all the curly hair, black hair. We were like, oh, it's Paul Reiser,
right?
But especially when he goes up the stairs. But
we saw the stair riser, but no Paul Reiser.
But yeah, and then when he does get revealed, it's just like, who's this jabroni?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
it's just a random schmuck.
That some dork
accosts Gwen outside of the rehearsal studio where she's auditioning for some dance part. But he solves it with his laser, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Paul breaks out. He lasers his handcuffs to get them open, and then lasers the door so he can jump out of the moving car.
Well, not so much lasers. That's where it goes back to pure. I guess because of the electronic lock, he's able to hack it. Because he hacked an ATM earlier to get $20 to pay,
which overdrew his account. Yeah. Paul's a schmuck.
Dumbass. Paul.
Well, he's probably spent all his money on his computer.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Which we never mentioned. I don't think we did. His name's Excalibrate. Right. Is the name that he is given.
Yeah, because the full name of the computer is XCALBR8. Yeah. Which he just calls it Cal, but yeah.
But yeah, this is the name that the devil has decided to give him is Excalibrate. So, but anyway, we also get Chekhov's jog because the way his running training has paid off because he's able to run his way to the studio. Mm-hmm. And get inside and then see that the guy's about to stab her, and he uses the laser. He reflects it off the mirror, hits the guy, hugs her, is like, "Hey, I saved you." And she's like, "Yes, you did. That's good." They hug, and they get zapped out, and then the killer just like wild-eyed stands up and just starts slashing at thin air.
Yep.
And then the cops run in because he had the line as he's running in to the building for the audition. There's 2 girls out there. And what does he tell them?
Yeah. I love this because, like, look, if you actually, I know in the pre-show I made fun of the ease of acting, but if you ever find yourself in a acting gig scenario where you're going for an audition, he runs, there's 2 actresses at the time, female actors, walking out.
Spit it out.
Yes. Walking out, and he's like, "This is where the auditions are." And they're like, "They just finished." And he's like, "Call the police. There's going to be a murder." And then now he just runs in. But the end of that is like, "I'm going to kill this."
That's what you should say.
Yeah. Yep. That's what you add in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, he doesn't.
But so the police have been notified. You got to come here. And so the killer is just wildly slashing his little scalpel at thin air. Mm-hmm. And the cops grab him, and the cop goes, "Did you just see what I saw?" And he goes, "No, I definitely didn't." And he goes, "Me neither." And like that's just the end of the scene.
Somebody had that in their back pocket for this, and I love them for it. Like, I think you mentioned that you have a list of like
good
bits
lines
of dialogue and good lines. Yep. If you ever write a movie, this is one of those that somebody snuck in, and it's the best exchange in this movie, hands down.
Yeah, I just realized that there's part of Chekhov's jog that never really comes back up, other than perhaps just introducing to the wonderful things that Cal can do. But like as he's jogging down the busy city street, he's hacking just with his glasses. He's hacking all the traffic lights so that he never has to stop his jog.
That's right. Yeah.
That never really comes back up. At least in terms of like it probably should have come up in this section.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I think they just meant it to show the breadth of what Cal can do. But
he's just going through life, fucking other people's lives up because he almost like causes a couple of wrecks as he's just
just jogging away.
Paul's kind of a shit.
Yeah,
Paul sucks. He's an 80s protagonist though. So
he is. He's a bit of an antagonist.
It kind of fits.
So he's kind of like Paul Allen. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So he goes back. This might be the one where Richard Mall tells him the story about the cat while he's sitting on a throne petting a cat.
Sure.
And they're like, "Wow, you suck, buddy." And then he's like,
"The cat's like, I'm a fucking cat."
Yeah.
And flips the table.
Yep. And he's like, "No, you suck." And then he sends him into his next trial where he wakes up outside. We figure he was going to do it looks like he starts at the Star Trek fight rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vasquez. Yep.
Yeah. But he sees like flames and stuff in a cave beneath. And he's like, fucking, I'm not doing this again. Come on, man. And then he hears Gwen going, Paul. So he's like, I'm going to regret this. And then jumps in. And then it's basically a sequence of him throwing rocks at a little troll guy while a little troll guy throws crystals at him.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the troll guy throws something at the roof, which kind of collapses some rocks on himself. And then he turns into a pretty angel lady. who says the way to win was actually never to come in the cavern. I made the same mistake. And he goes, oh, was there anything I can do to help you? And she's like, you already did. And then she trons out.
Doesn't really make sense.
And then...
I mean, it's supposed to be like the only thing in the cave is what you bring with you, but it's not played
it
like
just
any
doesn't
of that.
make any sense whatsoever. It's just two people throwing rocks at each other, and then one kills themselves by accident, and then that sets them free.
The only way to win is to not play the game.
Yeah. And then he's back.
Yeah, something Plato.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then they're like, all right, you're a dick, let us free. Like, how long are we going to keep doing this, man? Like, what the fuck's your problem? And he's like, my problem is I haven't sent you here yet. And so now they're in a desert with a bunch of, like...
this is the Mad Max sequence, basically.
Yeah, aircraft. Like, there's a bunch of, gutted old aircraft.
They're basically like
around.
dune buggies with plastic shit strapped on top of them, basically. I mean, they're all like little ATV things that have a bunch of extraneous bullshit.
They're from, what is it, Jaredson, whatever another Charles Band movie they're from. Yeah, so they just had them laying around, obviously. And, but the difference this time is the two of them are in it together, and they're, like, actually not separated. They're not chained up or anything.
Right. They just lost their memory or think there's someone else at any point.
Yeah, they just show up and they're like, "Oh, thank God you're here." Yeah. And then he's like, "All right, well, what do we do now?" And they immediately get attacked by the local military.
Dune warriors. There's no roads.
Yeah, they take his gauntlet, and then he's able to tell the gauntlet to zap them while they're holding it, and that once again, all his problems are solved by lasers. Because that knocks them out. And then they just steal a vehicle and start driving away. And she's like, do you know where you're going? He's like, the Vegas Hilton. Because he asked how to get there when the militia knocked him out.
I think he wanted to see the Star Trek experience.
Yeah. But all this is him like doing the driving thing and doing the yanking the wheel shot of, that shot from the dashboard of the guy going, but and her eventually grabbing a gun and doing some good gun face, but also some like, I'm going to close my eyes as I shoot this damn thing.
I was gonna say this is like a great example of bad gun face. I think it's funny gun face, but it's horrible.
Yeah,
gun face.
but she's also like like it's angry, but it's also she's closed her eyes and shot at things.
Also, I don't know why laser rifles would have as much recoil as they keep pretending that these things do. Like, I mean, she's like acting like it's a 10 gauge shotgun that she's getting blown back every time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these are laser rifles from hell, so
okay,
yeah, but she's able to blow up the little guy's the vehicle, and it rolls, and we're like, oh, it's gonna blow up, and they're like, no, wait, it's a Charles Band movie, never mind, that thing's not blowing up.
No, they saved it for later. They did blow up some.
Yeah, and then she's able to I guess this has given her motivation to get better at shooting, because she then shoots the other vehicle. But after shooting that, she's like, yeah, we're awesome. And from there,
they just decide that they've lost control of the vehicle.
They said that his watch tells him that something has taken control of the vehicle. And they're like, damn you, Richard Ball. And he drives them straight into another vehicle, smashes head on, and they both blow up.
But I guess they troned out right before, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what victory they got, like how that even.
Oh no, this is when he gets back. He's like, "All right, you lost," and Paul's basically like, "This isn't a fuck. You just took control of our vehicles and rammed into somebody else." He's like, "This isn't a contest. Like a contest is you actually doing something besides sitting on your ass and challenge me, basically." Right. And so he goads him into one-on-one, no magic, no technology combat.
Except he says there are no rules.
Right. Well, and then Gwen points out, rightfully so, that like Richard Ball is a fucking giant and you're doomed. Like even if it's just mano a mano.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
no, he basically they're able to wrestle a little bit, and Paul somehow is on top of Richard Ball, pushing him into,
which is totally not what would happen.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly. But yeah, somehow is basically pushing him into a vat of lava down beneath, like a cavern has opened up and there's lava down there, and he eventually pushes him into there, and then has to try and climb his way back up and tells Cal to do something, and it makes a solid laser that he's able to hold onto and pull himself up on it.
Yeah, it makes a light pull.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then he goes up to Gwen, unties her, and boom, they get troned back into their their living room where things are still smoking, like the computer's smoking, and
it was the 80s.
And it welcomes him back. Yeah. And basically she says, "Hey, let's get married. Talk to Cal about it."
Yeah, she's like, I talked to Cal about it. Probabilities are good.
Yeah, which is a callback to a thing earlier. But then it goes into the credit sequence, which begins playing clips from the movie that we've just watched, saying, all right, this sequence was written by this person and directed by this person. And it's a good 45 seconds to a minute of each scene. Probably more.
Yeah.
Where they just play out part of the scene and then they put, the credit over that part.
Do they do the 80s TV thing where they freeze when it's the director part? I just feel like that was always a thing where it's like,
it just showed up on top of
A-Team thing. It's just like whenever the credits came up, it always froze in mid-action and started back up for the next credit.
I don't think it did.
Yeah. But all 7 of them you get a credit sequence for.
All 7, and we'll watch them fall.
And then you get the slowest crawl ever.
It's a very slow crawl.
Oh my God. It is the slowest crawl of all the remaining credits. So they were like, we are going to make 70 minutes one way or another. And this is the path we have chosen to do this.
Yep.
And it's over.
Yep. And per our own rules, this is the part where we usually come up with a rating for said thing.
Yeah, 3 bags.
Wow.
I did not like this. None of it makes sense, and it's not even like Richard Mall is the only reason it's not getting like a lower rating because, well, 2 reasons. One, it's 73 fucking minutes. Like, that's not that big an investment of time. Like, if this had been a 2-hour movie and still had been nonsense, I'd been pissed. But also Richard Mall just chewing scenery the entire time saves it from it being bottom. But I didn't derive any enjoyment from it. None of it makes any goddamn sense. But there is some good costuming and some good little puppet work on the little weird guy. Mm-hmm. But even then, these were all things that were already existing for other movies, I'm sure.
Right.
They just lumped them in. They, like you said, they found a prop room and they were like, all right, let's just do some shit.
Let's light up and write a movie, boys.
Yeah. But I mean, I know I've said it a bunch of times, but it really does feel like each one of these was a 48-hour film festival movie that just they fucked around for 24 of those 48 hours.
I was going to say, it's a little bit insulting to a lot of the 48-hour film fest movies I've seen, but not all of them.
But I'm not wrong.
Not all of them. You're not
I'm
wrong.
Not wrong.
You're not wrong. I'm also going to go 3 bags. I don't know, man. It's weird when a movie feels like it's It's weird when a movie feels like it's both short and long, right? Mm-hmm. Like it felt like more and less than 73 minutes.
Yeah.
Like how did some of that take so long to do nothing, and how did some of it do nothing so quickly?
Yeah.
Most of those scenes were nothing. It was Cal does laser stuff.
Yeah.
The end.
I think that's the
some
real
Caltech.
The real problem is there's just no like. Even if you're doing a little vignette, you do kind of like a 1, 2, 3, like setup, action, resolution.
Yep.
Like, and none of them even have that.
It's mostly just setup and resolution.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I don't know how you mess this up. I mean, I guess I do now, but before this, I couldn't fathom how you'd mess this up because it seems like it's, it seems like it's pretty 1-2 punch
I mean, it's
you give 7 directors 7 different scenes and all right, pick a sin and do that.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Why is it so hard?
Yeah, we just fixed it. Pick a sin.
Yeah.
He's not appearing in this movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was due to his visit last week. Perhaps Chuck rubbed off on me, and I haven't completely cleaned it up yet. But I'm going to give this a single jocks. There's something about this movie that is watchable to me. I don't understand it. And like most Charles Band movies usually piss me off because of all of the things that we've just said. Maybe I just needed this tonight. I don't know. Like in excess.
Okay. I've had those, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it. The like Paul is not the worst in actual. I mean, Paul the character is kind of a shithead. The guy playing Paul is not the worst person doing these kind of movies we've seen. He has some personality. He actually sort of emotes at times and
he's not smarmy either.
Yeah, he's not completely smarmy, and he like kind of sort of changes, like has a little bit of a character arc at least. Like I just feel like his personality changes somewhat. Gwen is a pretty lady. She looks like 80s Amanda Peet. Richard Mall is like, overacting in a great way, and I like it all. I mean, I don't like it all. I mean, there's a lot of like bullshit in this, but like I think I just like the sum of its parts enough to give it a single jocks and say this is at least worth watching for some sort of, if nothing else, for the birth of Adam Savage's usurped line.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Chuck did a video review on this one way back when, and I believe he gave it 3 out of 5. So he liked it more than we did. I would have to watch his review again to see like what he points out, but Chuck also just likes goofiness.
I do too sometimes.
And there is a lot of goofiness in this.
I can see him beaming from ear to ear when the Wasp section started. I mean, A, because it's him, and B, because he likes those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But
I just Quiet Riot documentary.
That's true.
I wasn't feeling it, man.
You didn't feel the noise?
No.
All right. For once that Chuck's not here, I actually did a proper Quiet Riot song because we misattributed like every song.
Just to piss him off.
I know.
Well,
yeah. So, if you listen to Harlow, you'll watch it, but this side of the table not feeling the love.
Not really. Well, if you girls want to write these boys, why don't you hit us up? BMF@BMFcast.com. That's our email address. If you want to give us a call, I don't have any more Quiet Riot things to reference, but if you want to give us a call, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. That's the Garfield hotline. Let us know what you're thinking about. Let us feel your noise by calling. Also, BMFcast.com. That's our website. Please visit it occasionally. And
sure.
Something we would like you to visit once and then leave running forever is patreon.com/BMFcast. That's where you can give us a number of dollars a month of your choosing to receive some delightful prizes, including but not limited to extra podcasts. And
also the pleasure of helping keep the lights on.
The lights on, advance notification of what happens with regards to our show and the movies that we watch so that you can pre-prepare if you want to. And, it's just $1, $5, $1,000 a month. Whatever you want to give is okay by us. And many thanks to our patrons, small and large, all over the world, present, past, and future. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Well said.
Sweet. Well, I think that'll just about wrap this here episode up. Are we in agreement? Shall we get out of here?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ. And this is BMFcast out. See you next time. Motherfuckers.
Wow. I think muted trumpet is my favorite mouth noise to make.
Which trumpet?
Muted trumpet. Just
like
that.
It's a good one.
So. Yeah, it's probably due to my presence near Mr. Thomas Strell.
Shiny Lights
Yeah.
T-Strel.
I've watched a number of
Horror movies?
horror-ish,
Yeah.
like horror-related things. Like, I mean, I've been trying to at least steer them to things I was somewhat interested in. Like, I watched that Talk to Me. I guess everyone has been talking about that one.
I've heard that's pretty good.
I just
Yeah.
don't let him make me watch horror movies.
Sure.
That way I don't have to... Like, no offense. You like what you like, but he's always trying to show me things that I'm like, no, I don't...
Yeah.
I do not want to watch that.
Right.
Or he used to always try to show me things.
Sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. I try to steer it to like, oh, well, because like we were browsing and luckily whatever service, I don't know if I think it was on Hulu, perhaps, doesn't matter. I'm not trying to shill for anybody, but we were browsing around like in that section, and luckily I guess it also includes like horror comedies because we watched, or I demanded of that we watch Werewolves Within, that one that has it's a very small budget movie. It's got Sam Richardson, who was on Veep, and Milana Weintraub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How
But
was
yeah.
it?
It's
Lily from ATC.
yes. I mean, it may have been the reason I said let's watch that, but yeah, I don't know.
Don't blame me.
Yeah. It's all right. I did not know it was based on a video game. Like when the Ubisoft logo came at the beginning, I was like,
Yeah,
the fuck?
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it was like a.
I've actually seen that show up on like best video game adaptations
Yeah.
list, and it's like, what?
I guess
how have I never even heard
I guess
of
it was like a VR version of like Among Us or Ultimate Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, sort of like
Yeah.
a Spot the Liar kind of sort of thing, but because that's kind of how it plays out. It's like a bunch of people, like there was an attack and they all end up in this like bed and breakfast hotel, and it's like who's the werewolf? They could be Among Us within.
Amogus.
Yeah. But yeah, there's I mean, if nothing else, just like. I will point out, like I will make one reference, and if you ever watch the movie, just you'll know what I mean when I say I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do 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 do. So what are we thinking for episode title?
Okay, so that dream sequence that we saw was not in the U.S. version. It was only in the U.K.
The
version.
original one.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So what did it just open up with them at work? I guess is that.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Bottom one.
What are we doing?
Wait,
all I got.
are those are those the other ones above it?
No. Those
Oh,
are
okay.
old ones. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like drpupslayer.com. And Gunner Rail. I loved Gunner Rail. It's so
It
good.
really sounds like a VD.
It does. It does.
What do people call it? I mean, what? It's not VD. What, SVD is people. Are we still in SVD? Because like
You call it
changes.
whatever you want.
No, I just mean like it was a social disease, and it was a VD, then it was an STD. Are we on something different now?
STI.
STI,
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Because infections are different from diseases.
Okay.
So.
All right.
That's a good point. I like that.
All right.
I like that.
I mean, I'm gonna have a hard time changing my brain like UAP. Like it's just like my brain does not want to go like
Unmanned aerial phenomenon.
yeah, I'm
or
just like like that's what we're
unidentified aerial
it's
phenomenon.
like
Yeah.
that's what we're going with now. All right, we all have been saying
I like
UFO for a
UFO,
long
yeah.
fucking time. It's not like it's derogatory or anything like that. Do we always have to change shit just to change shit? Like Windows 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
According, it's a government thing, so yeah, they're
Well, clearly,
government military
we should
thing,
probably
yeah.
do what they say. They're the best at how
Right.
acronyms and stuff are supposed to work. Like AWOL. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm just saying it should be all wall. I mean, an acronym is supposed to be pronounced like the first. It's
it
absent.
should be owl.
Yeah,
Thank you very
just.
much.
I mean, it's you can't say you don't. No one's absent without leave. Like that's just,
It's the new GIF or GIF.
yeah, whatever.
AWOL or AWOL.
That's why it's GIF.
yeah.
I don't look at your graphics.
I agree. I My biggest gripe with that is that
I get my biggest gripe.
yes, my biggest gripe with that is it took the creator of the GIF 40 years to come out and say, actually, it's pronounced
GIF, like the
GIF.
Because I'm an asshole.
Like, you should have had a press conference every year for the last 40 years because we've all been calling it GIF. Since the very first GIF that I saw, we've all called it GIF.
Not everybody. I've met a lot of GIF people, like even before the...
Well, they were wrong.
The decision.
I said GIF once he announced that was the official pronunciation.
Yeah, and I don't believe in him.
Because it pisses people off.
Just because you're good at like computer programming doesn't mean you're good at language and shit.
If you tell me that your name has changed or your pronouns have changed, I will 100% back you. I'm here for you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not calling a GIF a GIF.
Yeah, if you
willingly.
Have you ever had a gin and tonic?
If you want to tell me your last name is Houston, I will call you that. But the fucking town is Houston. Planet Houston.
Well, no, it's Houston, the town. It's the street that's Houston. Yeah, right?
We don't live in a Houston.
Those are names. Names can be pronounced.
I know.
in
That's
many
what I'm
ways.
saying. If
like
somebody
Bowie
comes
versus Bowie.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you want to tell me that, like your name is Smythe, then in my head I'll be going, go fuck yourself. But I'll still say hello, Mr. Smythe. I'll just put it in an inflection.
Smythe.
Yeah. Hello, Smithers. Oh yes.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's
You'll pry the gift from my cold dead lips. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll say GIF.
Give me some
It's
of
fine.
that, give me
Like
some of
the
that gift
peanut
peanut butter.
I don't care what other people do.
You just know where you stand on it.
Yes.
Uh-huh. The line must be drawn. Yeah.
I'm not drawing any lines for anybody else except myself.
Oh.
And I think the creator should be forced to call it a GIF.
Just one.
Just because.
It's because it's funny.
Fuck you. GIF
Fuck you,
man.
that's why.
Let's go ask the creator of the GPEG.
Actually, it's a TIFE.
Yes.
And,
I named it after my wife.
Yeah.
Or Tiffany.
Tiffany. Oh my god. What is Tiffany?
It's like Tiffany. But
I know, but why is it so funny?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right,
We
yeah.
all get us off the line.
Goodbye,
Bye, everyone.